Luis.
First one.
First one in the house, bro. First one in, last one out. First one in, first one out, FIFO. Last one in, first one out. LIFO. That's stack life. Oh, beta. Luis said first one in, first one out. He's living that Q life. He was the first one in.
First one out. So last one in, first one out too. Should I hop out of the call and come back in?
Last one in, first one out. Yeah, stack life. Stack life.
That's why I was confused. It's last in, first out. So they both have the same delete, but the difference is
Yep. Last in, first out. Okay. Who are we? What else are we waiting for?
Can I just say your daughter's adorable?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I feel like she got my wife's looks and my lack of focus. So yeah, I mean, at least she got something, you know.
Papa's for the win.
You said Papa's for the win?
Hapa.
Oh, Hapa. Oh yeah.
Hapa.
Can you give people some context on that word?
Hapa, it's a Hawaiian word that means half. So in the past, the term used to be hapa haole, which means half white. So it used to be like back in the day when Hawaiians would, I guess, intermarry with white people. You would produce hapa haoles. Yeah, but now the
What'd
term.
You say, Luis?
Colonialist scum?
Yes, exactly. But now we take the term really hapa haole in Hawaii. It's kind of just like Asian white, which is like what most of us are.
What's up, Asian white? All right, so Desiree is not here. She's has the flu really bad. She's in the actual hospital. So if prayer thoughts or positive vibes, please send those her way. Nikki is also at the hospital with her daughter for a situation. So please send your thoughts, your vibes, prayers for them. And the only person, let's see who else. Well, I don't think we're missing anybody else. Yeah, I think that's it. It's 11 of us, right? Okay, so let's go around the room and 60 seconds on how much the sprint from last week sucked and what breakthroughs you had from last week. Let's go with Bryant. Man, my daughter's just loud. Sorry, she got that from me too. Bryant, let's go 60 seconds.
Okay.
What breakthrough?
The sprint was crappy. I think a breakthrough, I could talk about like technical breakthroughs of all the stuff we're learning, but really just to like read better, need to learn to read good and look for like, red herrings or false clues, especially in tests like these. So from now on, I'm gonna just like say it out loud, pretend like I'm talking to a child, maybe. That's it. Popcorn beta.
Thank you.
From the last sprint, I guess my breakthrough was I got really stuck, really stuck because of the rules that they gave us in the sprint. And I think the breakthrough was realizing that maybe I should just get something to work and then from there start accommodating for the different rules that they gave us, which is what I did at the end. But yeah, other than that, that was a really crappy sprint. I'm gonna popcorn to Jade.
I second and third what they're saying, sucky sprint. My breakthrough will probably just drawing things out, like actually getting out a piece of paper and like drawing everything or typing or just finding some way to like physically, since I'm more of a visual learner and it should have been like a duh moment, it wasn't. But I need to actually start drawing or grab items to help me like simulate what we're trying to do so I can understand the problem better. It wasn't until Tico, you actually like drew out everything on a whiteboard and moved the robot around that I actually was getting what I need to do for like a bubble sort situation. So yep, that's my breakthrough. Next, let's go with Elise, Popcorn Elise.
Okay, Luis or Elise, I'm sorry.
Elise.
Okay.
Those are very similar, actually. Yeah. So.
No, because every time someone says Luis, I'm like, oh, it's my turn. Just kidding, never mind.
Same.
The sprint for me, oh my goodness. That's like, oh my goodness is all I have to say. I went through so many different iterations and I've learned a lot. I feel like Polia is really kind of, that was my breakthrough moment this weekend with Polia. So it was trash, but at least, you know, I came out with better learning tactics. But yeah, so that was the sprint for me.
Very good.
So, Catherine, I guess you're the only one.
Yeah, that sprint sucked so much. I think I looked through all the files and I almost like wanted to just like DM Tico and just be like, yeah, I don't think so. But I just kind of have this thing where like I want to rush through things, and I was just like in our coding challenge today, like Tico mentioned that, like how I want to like, so I think for me, like not being intimidated by the problem and just like knowing that I have time to like think was like kind of like my breakthrough, because like Jade, I'm also very visual, so like I need to see things, so I'd be like writing notes and stuff. And then to do the robot, like I just like went back and I took their hint to like be the robot with cards, and then like I just like literally did the thing with the cards for almost like a half hour, just and then I was like, okay, yes, now and so yeah, actually doing something really helps. Tani. Yeah.
That I have not gone, and yeah, that sprint was awful. For me, the breakthrough, I didn't realize that you could hold none. I was confused on the none thing. So I was like, where is this none coming from? I see that they're saying that none can be an option, but I wasn't sure like how to incorporate it until like Tico talked me through, like, oh, you have to you start with none, and then you you go through your list holding none and drop it. So that was really messing me up. I spent, I think, hours and hours trying to figure that part out. And then from there, I was still stuck, but I was closer. Yeah, so is that everyone? Bryant?
Luis still has to go, right?
Luis? Yeah, Luis. Get in there.
Wait, did you say Luis or Elise?
Luis. Lou.
I mean, what else can I say at this point? Yeah, sprint sucked. I spent a long time actually on the problem before the robot problem and like burnt my brain out on that. And then when I got to the robot problem, I was like, oh no. But yeah, I got through it actually the same way Catherine did, except I used little torn up bits of paper towel. But just a visual representation really helped a lot.
All right. If that is everybody, we are going to go through Project Euler problem number 3 today. Jade's going to be driving for us. I'm going to start a shot clock for us. So 30 minutes, right? When you go to an actual interview, your goal is to try to finish a code challenge that they provide for you within 30 minutes. Now that includes like you walking through Polia's 4 steps, talking about like a brute force solution first, and then also talking about how you would go about optimizing that solution. A lot of the times they'll actually even tell you not to code the brute force solution. Just, but at that point you'll be like so well versed in code challenges, like you could just code it in your head without thinking. But the idea is you would talk about the brute force solution, but not code it. You'd say, well, this is what, initially what my thoughts would be, but then, the array, the push method or whatever would be too slow. So we needed to use an object as a cache, which would speed things up for us and give us O of n runtime instead of O of n squared runtime. Boom. So let's try to complete this, at least the pseudocode portion of the problem for today within 30 minutes. And then anybody that needs to go can go. And then anybody that wants to stay afterwards can stay. I will have to go because I'm in trouble right now for waking me up so late this morning. So yeah, here we go. Jade, lead us.
Okay, we're actually on problem 4. We did
4,
3
I'm
already.
sorry.
That's cool.
Okay, let's do 4, I'm sorry.
No problem. Do you want me to go ahead and just read it out?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, largest palindrome product. A palindromic, I think that's how you say it, number reads the same both ways. The largest palindrome made from the product of 2-digit numbers is 9009, which equals 91 times 99. Find the largest palindrome made from the product of 2 3-digit numbers.
Okay, who wants to start us off? Let's go through the first 2 steps of polys. So point out some things from the prompt that we would need to be aware of right off the bat. Sorry, my daughter.
We're looking for a single output with the largest palindrome, and it has to be made by multiplying 2 3-digit numbers.
Nice. So a lot of us in this group, particularly myself, have a tendency to jump to the 3rd step of polys right away. So try to focus a lot of the time in our 30-minute shot clock here, focusing on steps 1 and 2. And in the execution part, I mean, that should be rather quickly if you know syntax, which, I mean, it's not too important right now, but it would be great to get a solution to.
You need the number needs to be read both ways, so you're gonna have to test for that.
Nice.
You're also gonna have a range of like 100 to 1,000.
Oh, for 3-digit numbers, right?
What was that, Luis?
Nothing. I was kind of restating what Obeda already said. Sorry.
It's okay. It's good sometimes to hear things twice. Okay, so what about really hammering into like the palindromic number? So like one thing that I think who is it? Actually, I think of Jade right away when I think of like somebody who likes to like really hammer into the details. So like your goal in the interview also is to show that you are well versed in like truly understanding a problem before beginning to code it. So like try to poke holes in the prompt that they give you. Like for this one here, if they say a palindromic number reads the same both ways, maybe asking like, okay, how do you accommodate for spaces? How do you accommodate for non-alphanumeric characters? You know, like what characterizes, yeah. So just always consider those things.
What does both ways mean? It could be like
I think so. Like like on line 4.5, like 90. If you read it, the other like 909 or 09 is you could read it if you go from the back 9009. So you could reverse the number, and it no matter if you reverse it either way, it's the same.
It's kind of
Yeah, so
like if you have the word radar. If you, no matter which way you spell it, it's going to be spelled the same way, and it's going to be the same word.
Yeah, so this is actually really good that Brian asked that question. So like creating maybe a few examples, and then like putting that in the code, like, you know, having radar, and then maybe like an arrow pointing and saying like this would be like radar like reversed, the string reversed, and it's still the same. Therefore that equals like a palindrome. Yeah. And then maybe some other examples, including numbers.
Okay.
So like something other than 9009.
Four,
Could somebody give?
4.
101. Dalmatians.
Elise, what was your example?
Well, I said 4114.
There's one more hole that I'm hoping that you guys would poke. So when we think palindrome, we think of anything that's like any sort of characters in a string, right? So you can have numbers, you could have letters, and with letters, it gets a little more complicated because you can have like different cases, right? So how do you guys want to handle cases? Yeah, like what if you have like radar, but the first letter R is capitalized? How do you account for that? Right, your code has to account for it some way, whether you decide to do it where you turn everything into a lowercase, you turn everything into an uppercase. Like you just have to be able to account for that and show the interviewer that, okay, this person is thinking about those fine details.
So we want to make sure it's a whole number all the time, don't we? With no negatives and
There you
no
go.
fractions or decimals.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be an integer.
A natural number.
So does that mean, so when you say natural number, that means that you don't want any negatives, right? Or however you guys want to handle this.
I mean, the palindrome, it's negative. I don't know how we would analyze that, whether it's a palindrome or not. It could be symmetrical, like on each half, but it's negative.
So let's just pretend like we were telling the interviewer, hey, it should be an integer, a natural number. What else?
Yeah, so a natural number is means positive integer. Basically.
Thanks for that clarification.
Sure.
How do we want to handle these commas and like the non-alphanumeric characters in the casing? So go ahead and decide that, and let's put something down for that.
Strip it.
Am I missing something? Because I thought we're just looking for numbers, right? Not letters.
Yeah, actually, right. Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of a different problem, but but you do actually, if you're going to write a function, it should be able to account for user error as well. Like, because when we talk about like expected input, expected output, you'd expect a number to come in, but you guys live in a world where we both know that people will look at instructions and read it the wrong way. There's a ton of different examples, but yeah, so you always have to make sure to account for that in your code. Inputs that like you would expect, but other people may not account for. So it's still good to consider these. So what do you guys think? You want to just skip over? That's what I did when I went to go solve the solution, is I said I would skip over any characters that were not alphanumeric. And then how do you want to handle casing?
Well, if we have to consider case, we'd want it to input, or all our inputs to be lowercase, or at least handle all lowercase so that we don't have to worry about switching.
I'm confused about handling cases because if we're checking
Is a number. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about a different problem right now. All right, so let's just say that that we need to check and make sure that all inputs are numbers, and anything else would return an error.
Do we even have an input for this one? Sorry, maybe I'm not understanding the question. I feel like it's just telling us to find the largest palindrome made from the product of two 3-digit numbers.
But we'll probably make a function that takes in numbers.
Well, would it be taking in numbers, or would we just have a function we would call that does the math by itself?
Yeah, like a recursive call.
Or like just, an empty no input, and then it does like while I is greater than 100 and I starts at 999, and then we just keep doing the test. Because it doesn't look like there should be an input here, unless I'm not understanding this right.
Right. So like it's a super specific problem, but I think like if this showed up in an interview, they would like something modular, right? Because they like to be able to reuse code. So like creating a function, maybe that could take in the number of digits that that the two numbers you're multiplying, the two factors, would be limited at. So like if you passed in 2, that would mean that find the largest palindrome made from a product of two 2-digit numbers. If you passed in 3, that'd be like, the largest palindrome product from two 3-digit numbers.
Could we just give it a range, like from 100 to 999 for each, since it has to be 3 digits?
Yeah, but you'd want it to be like specific to the number of digits that you are going to be multiplying together, right? Because that will change. Like, what if you said find the largest palindrome made from the product of two like 1-digit numbers? Would that range still be 100 to 999?
No.
Well, it'd be n and something else.
Right. So how do we make this
So
modular?
it's more like if n is between this number and y is between, I don't know.
Make the array like bracket 9 times n would be like the first number, right? So if it's like 3 numbers, there would be bracket 9, 9, 9, comma 9, comma 9. So like maybe, so type in like n equals the number of digits, right? So 3. And then like number, the left number A is
So I think what Brian's trying to do is we want to do an example, right? You want to do an example right now, which is really good for understanding the problem a little better. So let's run through like a specific example right now. We got 19 minutes and 50 seconds left. Run through make like a really quick function or something small like right there that we can create an example so everybody can understand and be on the same level. So I think Obeda, you said you wanted to just take in and just create a range, right? So we can be specific about it. We don't have to create something modular right now. We can just create an example right now just to find the answer that everybody can see.
Yeah, because I was thinking we just go for the brute force. I mean, we just get what they're looking for, and then we optimize afterwards. So it wouldn't even, at least the way I was thinking about it right now, it wouldn't even take anything. It would just be a function, and it would start at I equals 999, and then it would have the condition of while I is greater, because ideally, right, is that if the two largest numbers multiply into each other, nothing under it would ever be bigger than that. So if you start at 999 and then multiply it into anything, then that immediately would be the largest.
Correct.
Palindromic number. Palindromic
number, yeah. Although like we're solving for a specific input in this case, I think in an interview, you should demonstrate that you can make something modular, because they're going to say, well, how can I use this code for 4-digit numbers? I mean, do you have to go in and change that, like that range manually? And that's what I think they want to be able to see is like, can this person create something that I can use, that our company can use over and over and over, and we don't have to rely on him, come back and change it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, can we just define the length of it? Like you pass an integer with length, and then specify it. Because then if you were to do it for numbers that were 4 digits, you could just add 1 and so on. Does that count, like interview-wise?
Yeah. But that's why I mentioned like making a function that would take in the number of digits that each factor would have that we'd be multiplying together. But let's just focus on the solution that we're trying to come up with here. Just to get the let's do like a largest palindromic number for two-digit numbers to make it even easier.
Sorry, so what are we doing? Are we doing the example function or are we doing the planning part?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a lot of stuff going at you. Do the example for two-digit numbers that are being multiplied together. Define the palindromic. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So what should we do first to get this? Anybody? So like generally, go ahead.
I was gonna say like an outer loop talks about the range.
Uh-huh.
One thing I might do the range from like a start high, go low. That range function work that way? I don't know about. I have to think about how to do that. So instead of starting at 1 and 1, we'd start, or 100 or 10 and 10, we'd start at 99 and 99 because we're trying to find the largest palindrome.
So actually, Elise, can you, sorry, Jade, can you just write that code in a, like outside of a comment, and then we can just like calculate it really quickly? Like, yeah, maybe just a little bit below or, yeah. So let's just, that way we could just calculate it. Maybe just run a for loop, right? That's what you wanted, Bryant? You wanted a for loop for the outer?
Yeah.
And what are the constraints for that?
For I equals 99.
Wait, so would it start at 99? I mean, for two-digit numbers, what does two-digit numbers start at?
Well, he wants it to count down, I think.
Oh, count down. Okay. Thanks for that clarification. Shows I wasn't listening.
Well, I is, I guess, greater.
I is greater than 10, or greater than or equal to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would, yeah, perfect.
I minus minus.
Yep.
Nice.
Let's see. Right here.
No, there's a comma after the 99. It should be a semicolon on line 43. There you go. That's what happens when you code in Python all the time, right? And you try to switch back to JavaScript.
For real.
So what next, guys?
Then inner loop.
We're gonna,
So question.
Well,
Thank you. Go ahead.
we're gonna multiply 99 by, well, we'll multiply I by each item from I in our range. And then evaluate the answer.
Would this be a great case to use nested for loops? I mean,
yeah, I was thinking we'd do a for with J or something, and
because like we want access to,
parameters.
yeah, we want access to two variables that are within a certain range, right? And we want them to iterate over each other. Okay.
You
So
could probably copy line 43,
43. Okay.
except put Jason in place of I.
Okay.
13 minutes and 20 seconds left. So as long as we get the pseudocode, that's all they'll care about in the interview, generally.
Okay, what next? So here we're going to,
Anybody want to jump in?
I think maybe we want to give like between 43 and 44 have a
Mhm.
variable stored in I as like current one thing, I don't know, and then in the J current something else, and then we're going to want to multiply them and then test the condition.
Theoretically, since we're going backwards, the first one that meets the palindrome requirements is going to be our answer.
Yeah.
so
That's a very good idea, yeah.
So what do you want to call it? Like answer or current answer?
Question is, do you guys need those variables, or can you just multiply I and J together?
I think we would not even need to store it. We could just multiply I and J together and then test to see if that's a palindrome.
And then set that equal to something that would be like a variable?
Yeah, so you'd want to say like potential palindrome
Product.
or
Oh.
something. Yeah, product would be perfect. Any of that, anything really.
Well, actually, Catherine is right, because as soon as you finish like finding that palindromic number, you're not going to be able to basically extract that from that inside for loop. So you're going to need a variable like on the outermost, outside the outermost for loop, right? That will have access, that you could change, right? Maybe you could call it, here you could call it a largest palindrome, right? I think you need to initialize it with a let or a, yeah, there you go.
And we're going to set that to 0 since we're waiting to.
Yeah, good. I think you need E on the end of palindrome there too.
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Mhm.
Okay, and then are we going to need a second one, or we just?
What do you guys think?
Well, we're gonna need a test condition, so we should probably be able to test if the product of those two numbers is a palindrome. So we need to figure out that. I don't know if we want to like turn it into a string and then reverse it and see if those values are the same.
That is much smarter than what I was thinking.
Would you say you don't want to put that bang down, flip it, and I'm sorry,
What?
nothing.
Oh,
It was a Missy Elliott joke.
oh. Put that dang down and reverse it. Man, if it's a fan yet. Okay, I got you, Luis. Dang, I'm sorry. I'm mad I didn't catch that. Catherine, can you continue on with your suggestion a little bit more in depth?
So probably inside, like on line 47, I would say if I times J, well, I want to store that into something. So because let's have I times J equal product. And then we can stringify if stringified product equals
Which line do you want to do inside the if statement, or
sorry, I wanted to do I times J equals product and then an if statement below that. Can you just do if product toString equals is toString product dot reverse. I think those are the functions. I have to look up I have to look up my some W3 schools. Just check out
It's been a while.
it's been a minute.
Yeah.
String, yeah. So
String.
on 47, you don't need a double equals. You're just assigning it to product. So if product to string, all right, and then on line 48, you can do a double equals, I think, or maybe you could triple, and then product to string dot reverse. Is that the?
I think it is. It's not liking the single equals here. On
No,
40.
that's not it. That shouldn't be in an if statement.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That
You want that? Okay, I see what you're saying. You want that to be. Let me take this out. Should I do this correctly? Do I have an extra one?
So this is really, really good because you guys have to clarify for each other now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're cool. It's all good.
Kind of reminded me of bubble sort. Where,
So do we want like let product equals I times J?
Yeah. Sorry.
No,
All
cool.
Python to JavaScript.
Yeah.
7 minutes and 18 seconds left. This is really good practice for y'all. I'm telling you right now, because the interviewer will treat you the same way.
So
Okay.
I think they have to be turned into arrays, and then you have to. So it's like a split, and then you do split reverse join.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There you go.
And then
So
you compare. So it would be for product. You would do where you're doing the double equals. You do list product dot split dot join, or something like that.
But we're not doing Python.
Product split. It could be like product dot split.
Can we just put an array around it?
I mean, I think if you say list, it separates each of the letters into singular. I don't know if you put an array around it, it's going to do the same. Because technically, the word itself or the number right now, you've already turned into if you do dot to string, it's already an object you can do, like you can index to it. But if you do list dot list, then you inside the stringified number, then you can turn it into an array. It's separated.
But is list in JavaScript? I thought that was in Python.
Yes.
That's a good question.
I was gonna.
No. 1 second. Let me Google.
But like Luis was, or sorry, like who said it? Obeda was saying, if you take the product, right, which is just a string of numbers, and you turn it into a string, and then after you turn it into a string, you dot split it. That will basically put it into an array with like separate characters, right, separated by commas. And then what you're gonna do is you want it to, I think, dot reverse, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you don't do list. I was wrong. You're right. Yeah, I don't think you
dot
do
reverse,
list.
and then you would dot join that, correct, to bring it back to an actual string. Sorry, that's a lot of things there.
So we're doing product dot split first.
With quotation.
With quotation, so split.
And then
if I remember correctly, and then after that it is dot join and then dot reverse, or we're doing dot reverse first and then join.
Yeah, but you got to turn it into a string first. So like right after product, it'd be right before the split. Sorry, so right before the split. Yeah, you got to chain on another method that turns it into a string. Otherwise, it's just going to be.
Okay, so toString doesn't. Oh, I see what we're doing. So this is. Wait, doesn't toString do that for us? Or no?
But it's two different things. You're having the palindromes on the right side of the equal sign.
Oh, okay.
And then it's reverse and then join.
Okay.
Here we go.
That's a crazy chaining we got going on there.
I think the join is supposed to have also quotations.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Anything else am I missing?
I always forget with the quotations if there should be a space or not.
And I know there certain times there are. I just don't remember when those are.
And I never can. I just console log it.
4 minutes and 7 seconds. Let's see if we can get something popped off here.
Okay, so then if product. So in here we're doing what again? Sorry.
Okay. Somebody help her out, please. So if the string of our product is equal to the string of the splitted reversed joined product,
then palindrome equals
yes.
Product. And then below the second for loop, you're going to return largest palindrome.
Very good.
Thank you. And then
Thank you.
so here we're returning or
No, after line 52.
50. Okay.
After 52. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
you gotta escape the for loop.
The second for loop.
Yeah. And then
Can we just return it in the if statement? Because if we're minusing